Good morning, welcome back to the ANS Way. We're out for a bike ride this morning. Don't know what's the time?
It is 11 a.m.
11 a.m. So we've got up, done our usual morning routine, decided to come out on a bike ride and thought we'd share what Summerlin is like. It's interesting. Anytime you tell anybody you live in Las Vegas, one of my old colleagues had a conversation on LinkedIn, like, oh, Vegas, the Strip. So I thought it'd be nice to show what this part of Vegas, at least, is like. You'll see this is our local park. It takes 1 minute to roll from our door to the park. You can see behind there's a nice play area for the kids, lots of people out already, a couple of runners over there. And as we progress through West Summerlin, you'll see we'll stop off at different parks and different locations and show you what it's like, and you will not see 1 second of the Strip. The only time you'll see the Strip or anything gambling or anything related to Vegas is if we show you the view from where we are. So hopefully you've watched that we've put a deposit down on our home. If you haven't, make sure you go and watch that, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. What's really nice about today is I have no idea, I'm guessing about 25 degrees. So as of the start of this week, it's dropped down from what would normally be 36 centigrade to about 46 centigrade, right down to 25. So it's really nice to be outside riding, actually taking in some of the sun rather than hiding from it. So we'll catch you once we get to our next stop. Actually, I thought while we ride up, I'll record some of what it looks like as we go around, and you'll see either side perfectly manicured pathways and trees and homes. And this is what it's like everywhere. And as we're going right up to the top, and we'll show you a couple of the new construction sites, but you'll see that you start to ascend into the mountains, which is really nice as well. Selena wants to take you to the Paseos, which I think is her favorite place here. And actually, speaking to our neighbor yesterday, she also really likes the Paseos. The part that we like, there is no new construction, it's all been built out kind of from the central out. It's got some stunning homes. They've got slides that come out of their top floor of the house into the pool. Some really, really nice stuff. And it all backs onto like a central pathway that leads you to multiple parks. So we'll show you some of that when we get there. We've arrived at the bottom end of what is we call it the Paseos Park. It's like a trail. Either side there's parks and homes, as you can see behind us. Selena wanted to explain how Summerlin works.
Yeah, so we've mentioned the Paseos and how much we like West Summerlin. So within West Summerlin, which is right by Red Rock, that area, there are different pockets of areas named after different things. So Paseos is an area, Vistas is where we currently live in, Red Point is another new area that's being developed. So within the area they have these names of these different parts which presumably are to do with the developers that go there, the style of homes, the parks, what the community is like. And this particular one is probably one of the oldest communities within West Summerlin. I just really like the look and feel, and we'll share it with you. But they've got all these trails that connect all the different homes together. There's some amazing homes here as well. Very elaborate homes in some cases.
There are some simple ones, like the one behind. The only addition that they've got is the super deck that we wanted but couldn't get, and then a covered patio. But other than that, it's probably a bog standard 4-bed, 3-bath.
If anyone has been to Alton Towers in the UK at the water park, there is a home here, and I don't know if
there were two in the end.
Yeah, and I don't know if we'll pass it on this trip, but they've literally got something that looks like the water park.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. It's just a slide that comes out of the home. So upstairs, you go upstairs in the house, and there's a water slide that comes out into their pool. So there are people that have obviously spent, well, probably not even that much money, because when this was built, I'm guessing 20 something years ago, you could probably get those for 300, 400,000 absolute maximum built. The area is probably trebled since then, so one of those homes would be probably 1.2 million now. But some of these ones on the outer edge overlooking the road, you can get them for reasonable prices, but you're going to have to be on the road. I'm not sure why, but Selena's bike has decided that it's going to be really squeaky, and I haven't put together my stand yet, so need to have a look at it. She's also still learning to ride. She's a lot better than she was, has a lot more confidence. but still getting used to it, a little bit wobbly still. Nervous when she has to start from gradients, but getting there. As you can see from this area, look, amazing. All the homes. You saw the people out running, having a peaceful time. This is not the Vegas that you expect. Oh, one tip, and something you'll see if you ever move here, everybody's on electric bikes. A lot of people here have trigger bikes, which means you don't have to pedal. I think they're class 2 or class 3. Our bikes are electric, but you can switch them off and they only work while you're pedaling. I highly suggest you get an electric bike. This whole place is on a hill. It's essentially the mountains. So you'll notice that we've been riding for about a minute and we're now at a second park. So this is the first one in the Paseos, and this is the one that you see us recording in a lot of the time.
This is the park that made me fall in love with this area.
So it's a bit early now, so there's only people out playing baseball, but normally you'll see over in the distance people starting their barbecues, their family gatherings, the local community gathering. They come out with their kids, join forces and have a nice time.
And it's just really nice because you get the view of the mountains. This specific spot, the Paseos, also has the Red Rock Mountain. So when me and Anne have bought our house, we're on the other side, so we don't get a direct view of Red Rock. But yeah.
So we made it to a couple of homes that have really nice pools. Now, this is somebody's home, so I don't really want to... There's loads of chipmunks around here, you see them running around. Don't really want to film it too conspicuously, but I'll show you it now. What's probably quite difficult to see is that entire wooden structure, and that bit on the back is actually built off of the back of the home, and it's an entire water feature structure that is covering the slide into their pool in their backyard.
That bit there or something, isn't it? Is that like a wheel or a deck, or I can't see it properly.
Yeah, so they have like another wooden structure, but the part with Paseos is that most of these homes have much more space in their backyard. So unlike ours, which I think is 4,700 square foot, maybe, here you've probably got double that, so you can build these things here.
It is a bit like what happened with new builds in the UK, where the people, like my parents, who bought their new build back
2001,
in
99.
the plots of land that they're on is more than, say, the ones that came 10 years later or 15 or even currently. So now space, even driveway, having parking for 2 cars is an issue in the UK, and it's the same here. They always have parking here, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
The plots of land have definitely got smaller over time.
Yeah, and Las Vegas in general doesn't have large plots, so unlike Texas you would expect huge. Land isn't really a premium in the sense of they're lacking it. There is untold land here, but it's just not something really that happens in Vegas. Even some of these homes are huge. They've got to be over 3,000 square feet, but they've still only got maybe 7,000 square foot of yard space or total plot space.
Which is, when I speak to a lot of my colleagues at work, so many of them have like half an acre, a couple of acres. So what we're talking about is relatively small in the scheme of things for the US.
Yeah, even the person that's selling our home, he's got over 2 acres. Before we move on to the next area, one of the really nice things, and Selena particularly likes it, is they take Halloween seriously out here. In the UK we do, but only really in theme parks and some of the outdoor areas like farms. They have started doing scare mazes and places you can go to, but it's very rare, at least in our experience, that you'll see an entire street with all of their Halloween stuff. Now it's, what is it, the 3rd or 4th of October? Second. And about a week ago the home started putting up their I was going to call it Scarefest stuff, their Halloween stuff, and it's really interesting because they go really all out. There's ghosts upstairs, there's all kinds
spiders.
of spiders attached to the houses, lighting, various stuff, and it actually looks really cool. The first time we noticed it here was in, or at least myself and my dad, we were in Austin, Texas, and a lot of the houses on that street, because we were going to watch Formula 1, had it, but they start quite early. And I had a conversation with my neighbour, and if she invited me into her home, she'd set up the whole house, and she's done all of the cobwebs out of the front. So it's actually really nice. It's very, very, very much a family community environment here. which is again the total opposite of what you think of Las Vegas. Las Vegas, you think strip, debauchery, gambling.
Which is true.
No, it is true, but if it was just that, you wouldn't have so many families. And the homes that you're seeing behind us, these are family homes. These aren't bachelor and bachelorettes homes. But we're gonna now take a ride all the way up to the top. Hopefully we can get in. We'll show you the home site. It's not home site, what are they called? The home builder, the area that we really liked and really wanted to get. However, the home builder were not very responsive or communicative, so we ended up not doing it. For me, it's in a much better area, and actually the homes look visually way more impressive, which I personally like.
Yeah, and they're much further, the elevation, like the literal elevation, is much higher, so the views that you get over the city, and also it's the closest you can get to Red Rock Mountain.
Yeah, it's in the mountain.
Yeah, so it's really beautiful up there, but yeah.
But again, for us, it's on a quick ride, 15 to 20,
we can get there really
15 to 20 minutes. You can ride your bike there. As long as you've got an e-bike, it'll take you a lot longer if you're using true pedal power. And you're up there. Okay, you don't live there. It saved us 200,000 and potentially a lot of headache with this home builder. Okay, out of breath slightly. We've made it practically to the top. There's only another 150 meters. So the next community up here is now not the Paseos, it's Stonebridge. Brand new, another Summerlin community. Most of these homes you see over our shoulder, they're still being built. Some of them are done, a lot of them are still being finished. I can't remember whether this was a tri-point as well.
The tri-point was here, Toll Brothers, Lennar.
Yeah, so this area all the way from that side all the way over there has mostly the high-end builders. There are KB homes as well, which we've heard are a no-no. We can't confirm or deny because we've never been in one. But a lot of the realtors just go, don't do it. But this area is amazing. I'll pan round and you'll see you're now in the mountains. Literally, if I ride 200 meters, I'm into the mountains. I can start riding up. So the benefit of these homes is you're in the mountains. The downside is you're a lot further from standard shops. So not even the strip, just where we are, you could drive in 5 minutes and get to the local casino, the local shops, the local gas station. Here you actually have to drop all the way down into
but it's not a huge, but yeah, you are a bit further
it's
away.
The part that you lack, isn't it? You gain a lot of privacy, you gain the mountains, but you lose out on those bits.
Yeah, that's the other thing, it's really not busy here. On a few days ago, I drove to meet my colleague for a workout in Henderson. And as soon as I got to Henderson, I just realised just how busy that place is. Because here, there's really not the population. It's just not the traffic.
No, it has. Yeah, the population is super low in all of Summerlin. For anybody who's been following our videos, you'll remember we talked about either living in Henderson or Summerlin. Now, I quickly made the decision Henderson was the right place for me, because when I looked here, there was everything available, everything you could dream of, and all in quite close proximity. It seems like, just hold out, let's have a think about it, let's go. I'm so glad now, because I would rather have to drive 5 minutes and have peace, quiet, safety, trails like we've just taken you on, versus Henderson, which I don't think, I'd rather move to another state than live in Henderson. It's way more chaotic. It's a lot busier, a lot dirtier. They actually have traffic daily, which we are yet to have.
Yeah, you're just not used to it here. So, and I realised when I was driving around there, I think in Henderson you have to find the communities like Inspirada, Anthem.
But even then, you're in Henderson, so you're still going to suffer all of the issues.
As soon as you go out, it is very different because you hit the traffic and it is very different. Here, it's your own little oasis, I would say.
So we'll have a quick ride around some of the communities we've not been in, and if we find anything interesting, we'll show you, and then we're going to head over to the one that we wanted to buy and ended up not buying. I don't even think they got back to us in the end, to tell the truth. No, they did. That's a lie. They did come back to us and they said the home started at 741 and the next one up was 780. I think there was a 40 grand difference. So I asked them, we're looking to move in March, what's the price? And they come back with 890 and 900 and something, which is just, it's a ridiculous amount of money for people that don't really seem to be that interested. We couldn't even get them to meet us and do a home tour. they're not bothered. There's people with enough money that don't care, that would just buy it and sit on it for a little bit. So let's go and do that now and we'll take you along. The community that we were just talking about is actually one we requested to view, but by the time we had requested it, every home had been sold. It's by Pulte Homes, and lots of people rave about Pulte. Apparently they're one of the best alongside Toll Brothers. Something our UK people will have it. Huh?
Nice.
Yeah, you have experienced it a bit. A lot of the newer construction does use timber, but there's mostly brick built homes. You'll notice here, every part of the home is timber built, and then I think they line it with weatherproofing, and then I don't know how they plaster it, but you're going to get to see as we ride along some of the builds. Ah, look, here's a perfect view, vantage spot. So from here I'll turn the camera around and you'll see Red Rock Casino in the distance and some of the rest of Summerlin. I'll see if I can zoom in when I do the editing, but it is very, very nice here. And in fact, I really wish we didn't turn in now, because it's one of the nicer ones. And again, these homes, when they originally sold, would have been hundreds of thousands less than they currently are. You can see one just there. That's actually having the finish put on. So I don't know whether they plaster it or what their construction techniques are. All I know is they're 100% timber, which is very different to the UK. Another thing that's really nice about living here, hopefully you can hear me over the tyre noise, is not only is it really well kept, there's a ton of wildlife. And even if you're not really into it, it's quite nice when you're sitting outside. So we get loads of, I think they're hummingbirds, because they're the little ones. I mean, they're tiny, like 2 inches, really fast wings, super pretty, and that fly around. You also see a lot of chipmunks, you see a lot of geckos. Apparently there's snakes, and on one of the forums I'm on, somebody saw a rattlesnake, I think, the other day, which is scary to me, because I wouldn't know how to handle it. Although I guess you just ride around it. But nearly every part of every community is kept like this all the time. What that does mean is you pay a very expensive $48 plus your local community. So generally around $120 a month to keep your home and community looking perfect all the time, which people complain about. But then you go to somewhere like Henderson, which doesn't have a HOA, and it's horrible. So for me, it would cost me a lot more than $120 a month to maintain our property like this. It's all right, you can turn around there on the road. And the surrounding areas. So I'm more than happy for them to take 120, considering at home I think we pay £130 per month, essentially for people to come and clean the floors and clean the lifts and make sure the lifts get fixed when they break down, which is all the time. We've made it to a slightly different area to where we was expecting. And I don't know whether they're building a runoff or if there's ever a lot of water, so it protects this set of houses, so the water would go into here and run somewhere, or what they're doing here. Really, it's quite interesting, all of the new construction. But what we have found is an amazing view, and I don't know if it's going to come across in the camera. You can actually see all of the separation. So you can see where we're in Summerlin, you can then see the strip end to end, and then you can see the gap between the new strip and old Las Vegas. I will show you on the camera, and then I'm going to attempt to take a photo to see if we can get it all in one shot. But it's very nice up here, and it does make you kind of regret not being earlier and being able to afford one of the houses up the top. Right, so it's a bit difficult to see. I'll try and put it out. So here is the strip. You've then got the tower Stratosphere in the middle, and then there's a big gap, and then the next part of this is the old Las Vegas strip. Now up and over, which will be about here, is Red Rock Casino. So that's kind of the start of where Summerlin West would be, and not too far from where we live, just a couple of minutes away. The rest of all of this is the new part of Summerlin. And what was it called? Stonebridge. Stonebridge. We're at the homes that we really did want to buy for a long period of time. So it's a little bit further along than where we've just taken it. Oh, it looks like their sales office is open. I'm going to take you round to the ones that we would have ideally liked, and actually they've come a long way. So we came here maybe a month and a bit ago, and all of these lots were actually just lots. They started framing the homes and putting the glass in now. This is a builder called, who's the builder? This is a builder called Lennar. They have a slightly different concept to most of the builders around here. They say everything's included. Don't know how true that is. Everything but customer service, it would seem. But the home types are very, very nice. Yeah, that's the framing has gone up. That's what I was saying on here. So Selena's just saying how strange it is that the framing on all these houses have gone up, because it was just dirt lots before all of these.
Yeah, literally a month ago we were here and it was just the empty lots of land.
So I mean, if we were early enough, it would have been really easy to get one of these. And what's really nice is they have back porches, what would you call them, decks, and you can balconies in the UK, and you can oversee the strip and Summerlin. These ones not so much, but all of these at the front. But we were a bit too late getting here. Sorry for the noise, it is a construction site, but I will show you the show homes. So this is the one we didn't look at, because we were never going to go for that one. I forget the names of mahogany is this one here. You've got the hazel and the aspen. In terms of their build and the way they're laid out, I personally really like them.
I really like these homes. They were really nice, and it was closer to the style of home we would have personally preferred. And also just how they've done the lots of land and how they're spaced out, the drive space.
You get a lot of space between. You've also got towards the rear, or at the rear of every one, there's a deck. So you can go upstairs and look out, or downstairs, and they have these open balconies, or not balconies, what are they, open railings, that makes it really nice if you're out in your backyard space. And the other thing, key thing, was triple garage. All of them have 3 garage spaces. So some of them have 3 side by side, and some of them are twin and then tandem, so the third one is right at the back, which would have been ideal for us, but bit too expensive, a bit too late getting here. Somebody managed to get, it's either this one or this one, for I think 500 and something thousand, and this is the one I was telling you about, is now 850 starting. So they've gone up massively. This is the last stop before we go and get some lunch. We're off out with some YouTube friends that we've met, or they're not on YouTube, we're on YouTube, they followed us, we've met them to a festival later this afternoon.
Pure Aloha Festival.
Yeah, so this is the other side of the park that we normally film in, and you see our videos in. As you can see, there's beach volleyball. It's so different here. There's people just milling around, there's a guy playing basketball, people skateboarding. So hopefully this gives you an idea of double size of Vegas. This is the Vegas part that we live in, and the Vegas part that you've seen advertised is very different and relatively far away in terms of lifestyle to what you have here.
Let us know what you think. This is pretty much why I love it. You can walk, you can run here, you can go out cycling, people are out on their skateboards. It's a huge community feel here. People come out and do barbecues out in the parks. People say, we've said hello to about 4 or 5 different people. This is why we love Summerlin, and in specifically West Summerlin this much.
That part's important. So that's the end of the video.
Thanks for watching.